Alright guys, Sahel with another video. So I was just thinking about something and maybe these videos are, I guess you could say, along the lines of sometimes having a repetitive tone. But basically I want to say pick a side because in essence, living in the West, I realized that, and this is why I had to realize that no matter how much you don't want it to affect you, it will affect you somehow. Like it will, I don't know, it just is going to affect you. Um, I tried my due diligence to not let it affect me. They say that, you have to find a good friends group to be surrounded by to not let it affect you. But it was pretty hard to find that friends group because of the simple fact that a lot of them were involved in the things that basically I was trying to stay away from. You know what I mean? With that being said, not only did you have to pick a side from just like a moral perspective, but I had to pick a side from a geopolitical and also a spiritual perspective as well. That's the main thing. If I didn't do that, I probably would still be in the situation I was in before. And the thing is that Muslims will argue up and down. Like, this is the ironic thing that I find. This is very, very ironic about the whole situation. Like, in the Sahel, we have, even Chad has decided to kick the French out. Even, more people are taking that stance where they're saying, adios, amigo. We have no need for you. You didn't even serve us any purpose before. Like, more African countries are taking this stance, right? But the weird thing about it, right, and this is mostly coming from Muslims, the moment we align ourselves with like someone that the West isn't friendly with is the moment that these governments are kufar, these governments are kafir, and things like that. It's weird because even Ibrahim Traore is a Muslim, was praying as a Muslim, and Assimi Goita, the leader of my country, Assimi Goita, attends Juma prayers and things like that. I would say that, if we didn't know better, they may be better Muslims than a lot of us. And then what happened, which was odd, is that one said that, and I use the hadith that, the best of people is the best who are, beneficial to people. And this is what they're trying to do to people in the country. You have to understand, they're starting on a handicap. This is the main thing. They're starting with a handicap, okay? They're starting on a handicap. Blaise Compaoré in Burkina Faso didn't do them any good. He sucked them dry, only worked for Western people. The government of Mali was the same way. The government of Niger was the same way, okay? They really didn't have any benefit for the people. But I find it ironic that, especially amongst the Wahhabis, this is the funny thing amongst the Wahhabis and the so-called Salafis. This is the funny thing. The double standards is ridiculous. It is so funny, okay? They'll criticize us for aligning, getting assistance with Russia and North Korea, but at the same time, they will not criticize, for example, America or the Arab. Let's start with the Arab world. The Arab world not doing diddly squat to help their brothers and sisters in Palestine, and the Arab world um, bombing their brothers in Yemen, who not all of them are quote unquote Shia, who a lot of them are Sunni as well. Not only that, you're criticizing our process. You know, you're criticizing our process. You're criticizing what we're trying to do in the Sahel, but at the same time, you're okay with America not only supplying Israel with weapons, financially, supplying them as well. You're okay with that. You're okay with them doing that. I've heard some even say that the Palestinians are rats in tunnels. You know, and and that's really the sad reality. It really is the sad reality. And these same people, when I say, and I've said this, I say, yeah, I it's eating away at me being in the West, knowing that what this country is doing to Muslims, okay? It's eating away at me, all right? When I said that, they just, they, really think it's okay, you know? They really think it's okay to do that it's okay. So with me, I just, and I'll be the first to say that expansionism is in history, okay? Let's be honest. Islamic expansion was based off of a couple of factors, okay? It was based off of a couple of factors. The main factor was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala basically, foresaw that Islam was going to expand. And it expanded across different continents. It expanded across so many things, okay? Yes, it did. We know. Some of it required military conquest. It was killed or be killed. Now, in terms of Russia, it's the same thing. Okay, Russia expanded military conquest and things like that. I'm not going to sit here and say that everything it did was justifiable. I'm not going to sit here and say this thing. But for Muslims to come out and criticize me for being here is to me, it's ass backwards. Okay? Is Russia sending mercenaries to, liquidate Palestinian babies? Is Russia sending bombs to Israel to do those things? Is Russia bombing Yemen? Is Russia overthrowing not the best government, but another government that is actually making it worse and is actually making Israeli expansionism really a thing in Syria? Okay? So that's the thing, I had to pick a side. And unfortunately, people have made takfir on me. Okay, people have said very horrible things about me in this choice, in my choice, okay? And personally, in my personal opinion, I don't know if they will be happy at all, really, wherever I go, wherever I go. Because the thing is I look at the fiqh rulings that if I'm not in the West making dawah, which I wasn't making dawah, then I have no purpose there. I have no purpose there. I mean, I wasn't doing dawah, I wasn't doing none of that. So what was my purpose to be there, still be there? I wasn't looking or searching for a wife And then that's why they criticize me too. They say, oh, you have a defeatist attitude. Not knowing that 65 of Muslim divorces in the West are done by the women. So I have really a defeatist attitude to you. So, okay. Yeah, I could have did what a lot of people do. Go to UAE, go to Dubai, and go that route. Go to a place like Kuwait. Go to a place like Qatar. Go to a place like Bahrain. But the way I look at it, those places are basically outposts of the West too, in a certain kind of way, in a certain kind of manner. Yeah, you can call them Dar al-Islam, but look at their political actions. Look at what they're doing. There was just a video of I think some kind of official. I forgot what country he was from, but he was a Bedouin Arab serenading a Hindu person. I'm like, really, bro? You don't have no kind of backbone? So I don't know what people are upset about. Okay. It's just weird to me. Okay, it's very, very weird to me. I've been takfired. I've been accused of shirk. I've been accused of so many things, and it's like, okay, am I calling on Putin, like, yeah, Putin, like, or am I saying, yeah, Putin, Atini Falus? Am I saying things like that? Am I saying, yeah, Putin, Atini Salam? Am I saying these things? No. So how am I doing shirk or something like that when I simply just chose a side? Okay, and I'm gonna end this video, make it pretty short, and I could be wrong. Okay, the way I'm gonna break it down, the way I'm gonna break it down, I could be wrong. Okay. There were two sides to choose from. The Western side, which includes degeneracy, which includes liberal Muslims who are on dating apps and who are swiping just like non-Muslims, ones who call themselves Salafis but are doing the same things, pretty much doing the same things that non-Muslim. Okay, I got cut off on the last part of the video, but my thing is, like, you're criticizing me for making maybe an option that's like making a, how you call this option? What's the option called? Anomaly. You're criticizing me for making an option that's an anomaly to a lot of you guys. Okay, and I don't know why you're criticizing me based on the option when, if you do the history, if you factor in that there are largely like autonomous Muslim republics in Russia, you will understand why I have made this option. I'm in one of those republics right now. So, I mean, I don't know where this criticism is coming from, but it's just kind of ridiculous, you know, that it's coming from mostly Muslims who are in the West and who are, you know, Allah Barik, bro, Allah Barik. But you're not even like planning to leave the West, okay? You're planning to do everything in there in the name of saying you're doing dawah, but I hate to say it, and I'm being And I'm just being real, okay? And I'm not trying to criticize anybody. I'm not criticizing nobody, but I really don't see the effects of dawah of in the West when it comes to Islam. I really don't see the effects of it. So to end the video, I had a choice, okay, to be in the West, to engage, to not be to not be engaged in what the West has to offer, but for it to take a toll on my overall being, you know, or I had an option to leave. And although there's going to be growing pains, there's going to be challenges, see a vision that will, inshallah, be very, very beneficial for me in the long run. So I chose option 2. And I don't know why y'all are mad at me picking a side. It makes no sense to me. And especially the non-Muslims too. Like, I didn't even tell any of them that I was leaving. But then when I do leave, of course, there is, bro, I don't even want to get started. It's just ridiculous. I'm just going to end on this note. It just seemed to me, right? And Allah alam, Allahu alam. It just seems to me that they wanted me to be in a ocean, right? They wanted me to be in an ocean where there's sharks, there's poisonous jellyfish, and the sharks, the poisonous jellyfish, and let's also say the kraken, that big old octopus. Let's just say the sharks were let's just say that the sharks were these conservatives. Yeah, let's just say the sharks were these conservatives who are very racist, by the way. Let's just say the jellyfish were the liberals, and that includes liberal Muslims as well, who push feminism, push all those kind of ideologies as well. And then you have the Kraken, which is the Zionists. It's like they criticize me for not wanting to be in those waters, knowing that I'm outnumbered by 1,000,000 to 1, basically, versus being in waters, which, yes, there are some currents, there are some rocky currents, but eventually you're going to be able to get past those rocky currents and things will get smoother. So that's just what I wanted to say, guys. And inshallah, tomorrow I will go to the Kul Sharif Mosque for my Juma prayer, and I will have a video of the mosque and the interior of the mosque and things like that, inshallah. But anyhow, Sahel signing out. Inshallah.